YouTube, what's up? This is Boa7772, and today I'm bringing you probably my biggest review yet. This is going to be the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Shield Super Helicarrier. So without further ado, let's get started. It's going to be a fun time to try to put this all in a title. So I'm going to kind of break this down. I have this backed up against the door, and it's barely fitting. As you can see, the wall is right on both sides. It barely fit. So on the front, you can see Nick Fury, how he appears in the comics, and he's, pointing at you, trying to recruit you, because the Shield Helicarrier has landed. Marvel Universe and Hasbro. Shield, S-H-I-E-L-D. Super Helicarrier, and we get an eagle type symbol over here, which is really cool. On top of the box, there is, just turn this around, there's a little Hasbro mark there, and it says TM under it, the trademark. And then up here it says MVLUNV SDCC Super Helicarrier. So Marvel Universe San Diego Comic-Con Super Helicarrier. Then we have the item number right here, A06810000. So let's turn this box around. So on this side, you can see the Hasbro logo. This end up, once again, the number on it, one piece. Sorry, getting the camera situated. One piece, Marvel Universe San Diego Comic-Con Super Carrier. Marvel Classic. We have all this information, blah, blah, blah. The UPC code. I think that's it. And then, pretty much, it's the exact same on the other side. So yeah, I'll give another look, and then we'll look at the bottom, and then we will get to the actual packaging part. So yeah, this looks really nice, and this is huge. The box itself is long over 4 feet long. This is amazing. And then, yeah, that's a tape that I used to take off. So if we flip this over, Hop Phone Group Holding Limited, blah blah blah, all this stuff. Sealed at the bottom, and then once again another Hasbro logo. So yeah, now let's get to the box part of the review. Okay, so now we are to the box part of the review. Pretty much this is one of the biggest things I have ever bought, ever. This is much bigger than the Star Wars ATTE, the AT-AT, the Turbo Tank, the Ultimate Boba Fett pack. This is huge. This is ginormous. Bigger than any Star Wars, Marvel, or G.I. Joe vehicle, any set I've ever seen. This is well about 4 feet long. So let's look at this in more detail. We see a silver Marvel Universe on here. It's just pretty much shiny. If I can get, come on. Yeah, and then go down the box. It's kind of a greenish color. We can kind of see some of the Marvel characters in there. I can't really make out too many of them. I can obviously tell, I'm pretty sure the Thing, Wolverine, I think I see the Human Torch. There's a few others in there. It's kind of difficult to see. Hulk is in there. I'm pretty sure that's Magneto. Super Helicarrier. This thing is huge. We have the Shield Eagle logo in the bottom right-hand corner. With a little Hasbro logo in the bottom right-hand corner of that. We go up the box. We have the warning labels, which, once again, huge. And then we have the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive sticker, which is like the size of an action figure. I mean, this thing is huge. So on the top, as you can see, there's nothing really too special. It says Shield Super Helicarrier for about the 50 billionth time. And then let's turn this around and look at the back. Okay, so now we are at the back of it, and this is pretty much just, I guess it's just art that they put on it, possibly concept art, possibly from a comic. It just looks really cool. I'm not too much of a huge, gigantic Marvel fanatic. I love the movies, and I have read some of the comics, but I don't know who all of the characters on here are. Obviously, that's Iron Man. I'm not sure who he is. If anyone knows, please tell me. That guy, along with that guy, and that guy, and that guy. So yeah, we can see pretty much all the characters on the back. Pretty sure that's Marion Hill and Giant Man over there. This is just humongous. We can see the 09, I guess that is, which looks cool. Over here we can see that they have marked it SDCC 7-12, which is really cool looking. And once again, SDCC 7-12, 09 on it. This is awesome. This is they're going to be releasing another one in stores actually, which is a 3-foot long one, and this is 4-foot long. There might be quite a noticeable difference in them to make me want to possibly get that one. But no matter what, this is way cooler, way better. This is just awesome. So yeah, I'm going to go back to the front of the box and show you what's inside. Okay, so now we are at the front of the packaging again. We'll take a look inside the package. So the first thing you can see is, yeah, that doesn't really help, but that might actually. We see the action figure of Marion Hill and the action figure of Steve Rogers, Captain America. They look, obviously, Marion Hill is a complete new figure, and Steve Rogers, Captain America, looks all new to me. The chin, the whole face sculpt looks new, if I can zoom in there. Of course, we'll be able to tell in a minute, but it just looks a bit more blocky to me. We have, I believe that is 9 missiles. And then we have an instruction sheet behind that. We can see it's sitting on a large piece of cardboard, so this is a pretty flat vehicle, which is nicer than it being like an incredibly thick vehicle. As long as it's like 4 feet long, it's really cool. The 09, we can see stickers on it, maintenance hatch, and then maybe that could help. San Diego Comic-Con 7-12. A huge place for somebody to sit for a gun to launch. We can see a huge piece of plastic covering that, so it's a bit more difficult to see. We see the Shield Avengers logo up here, the eagle. There's 1, 2, 3, 4 of these propellers to make it fly. You can see guns on the side. There's little places for the figures to get down. This is just all around really incredibly nice. This is a really cool, really nice vehicle. We can see some extra pieces at the bottom that you can, from what I'm guessing, just attach onto it. So 4 feet long. Let's back up here. 4 feet long, and by far most likely going to be one of the, if not the best vehicle that Hasbro has made. So let's open this up and actually get into this and review this bad boy. I'm the leader of the Avengers. I'm Captain America, but I didn't get top billing. And apparently I'm not in front of the team on most of the posters. That would be Stark. who is also outdid me in this movie by a long shot. Hey Stark, you're almost done working on that engine. We need it to be up and running, fast. It's a fan, Cappy, and it is almost up and running. Just gotta spin it a little bit. Just make sure I don't get caught in the blade and push a lever. Oh wait, this is tiny. I won't be caught in the blade. Yeah, it'd be better if you would. What? Nothing. Okay, now we have the vehicle opened, and might I say this is huge. I have gone over it, every little detail I can find, and I'm still finding new things. So I will try to get everything on this, but it will be difficult because this is just, I mean, this is a gigantic vehicle. So I guess we will start from the front end, which is practically lying on the wall right now. So we have these two detachable guns. They should, yeah. So they just detach like this, and you can, I'll show you what it is like under it in a second. But you just kind of snap that back onto place, and that will hold there. So that'll be the front. And then right here it says SDCC 7-12 for San Diego Comic-Con. Again, it's a trapdoor kind of thing. You can take it off. Kind of a little bit difficult to put back on, but it's not going to kill you. You have a 6, or that's probably a 09 instead of a 60, because that's how that's written. So we go up, and I don't know, that could be a 7, I guess. But I'm just going to assume that that is a 9, because the 7 looks different over there. And then we get to these little hatches. It says 144 mm cannon, and then the other one, turn this around, says maintenance hatch. So pretty much, I'll open those up for you. There's not really anything in there. I mean, they did sculpt in there, which is really cool. It looks like there's some bullets and some wiring. Bullets, not like so that they can take out and use for an armory, but bullets for, like, to load in these missiles down here, which we will get to in a second. So that's what's in that. And this one is practically the same thing, but they say different things on it. And then we can open this. And as you can see, it's really detailed down there. We see, I'm assuming what would be like in an engine room, which you don't usually see on the surface of ships, kind of what makes it run. So the bad guys on the Helicarrier could be doing quite a bit of damage by throwing nades in this stuff, grenades. And also, I've not put on any of the stickers yet. The stickers that you see on here, like these, have already come on here, so... And then we get down, we see this. There are these little kind of nailed shut, kind of just metal looking things on it, which looks really nice, actually. It's a really nice detail. The golden paint that they used, stripes down here, you can see it fairly well. It's kind of like a glittering gold, and it looks just really incredible. They did a great job on it. So congrats, Hasbro, that's really good. There's a crease in the middle, which once again I will get to in a second. As we can see, there's more details like 7s or J's going down the side. Just over and over. And then we can see just little detail places that they've added all over the place, just sculpted in, which looks really cool. So we will take this off. And in here, pretty much, it is... all molded plastic into it. This is all just one color, which is pretty much its main downfall. But other than that, I mean, as you can see, they took a tremendous amount of time into sculpting this, and it just looks really incredible. Up here too, there's different parts. As you can see, some gears there to make the gun run. It just looks really nice. here's some more gears in it that you can kind of see from the side. And it just looks really nice. And then we get to the other end of it, which has this kind of launch pad thing with this red crane. And I will go over this stuff in a minute. You can see those detailed kind of circle hatch things there, which look really cool. I'm assuming that that's where the maintenance people go to work on this. So anyway, let's start back from the other side again. We have 8 of these guns scattered all over the ship. Under it there is a button that you can press and the missile will launch. We will get to that once we look at the as we look at the belly of the ship. But these look really nice from this point of view. It's actually a really cool feature. It's in a correct order. It looks really well organized, military-wise and whatnot. There's 2 here, and then the complete opposite side of the ship as well. So that looks cool. As we can see, there are these spinning little rotor blades that make the ship fly. Whenever I tested these, 2 of them work really well. One of them it works semi-well, and then the other one doesn't really work at all, which is kind of sad, but hey, it looks cool at least. I was kind of, I know it might be a lot to ask, but a major part of the movie was when, like, Iron Man and Captain America had to go to that damaged part of the ship to fix one of these. I was hoping that maybe Hasbro could release one of those as well, just like that little room that was kind of blasted open and a little place for Iron Man to get in and fix everything up, get it running again and whatnot while Captain America fought the bad guy. But, you know, I doubt we'll see that. But, it's not really size accurate. As compared to the figures, here's Captain America pretty much sitting on it, and in the movie there'd be a little Iron Man in there rotating it around and around and around and around. Oh yeah, another thing I would like to point out on this is there aren't any peg holes like on the flat main surface. There are little peg holes like down here and down there, even down there, so like, and a couple here, but they're not on the main part of the ship, which I don't get. We have guns again, the other rotor motor thing that makes it fly, the engines in the back, which we will get to in a second, and then we have in here a couple of little foot pegs for the figures to stand here, here, and by the way, these are really nicely detailed. Unfortunately, it's kind of difficult to get the figures to stand in here sometimes, and I would prefer that they stand on the top, but hey, it's cool. We have another one here, which I've shown you, and the last one is here. They all look really cool. I like how they molded the ground, just like the metal on the ship looked in the movie, and how you, or how I would kind of imagine it to look a bit. That is pretty much it. I will now show you the ship from a different perspective. Okay, so now we are at a different perspective of the ship. Actually, different perspectives, as I have taken it and chopped it in half. So I'm not sure if like this is what's going to be in stores, like just that, and then this is like a bonus part you get. I don't know if like it's complete new sculpt or what, but this is cool. It pretty much splits into two feet part. The only really flaw about this, which I will get to in a minute, is the stands under it. I'll get to that in a second. But on the front here, you can see like a little place for the figures to stand. There aren't any peg holes here, unfortunately, but it is a place for the figures to stand, and it is really cool. Here's a front view of the missiles. Once again, just kind of plain color scheme, nothing special about it, but the detailing and sculpting that they put into it are really phenomenal. Another thing I would like to note is that it's appearing blue, but it's actually gray. it just looks really nice. And then from the back here, we can see kind of the engines. We have 5 on this side, 2 over here, and 3 over here, and then 3 over here, 2 over here. So pretty symmetrical. On this red crane type thing, you can rotate around 360 degrees. You can, come on, I guess you can't bend it up. This part can kind of rotate like just as far as you can make it go. And then I will assume that a figure is supposed to hold on to here, which I will give you an example. Let's have Captain America grab onto it. So what? That's a pretty cool feature. You can like have him, you know, jump on, and like this crane goes on the side, takes out all the bad guys. Captain America jumps on it real fast, goes on the side, has a shield, pops a few people with it. Be kind of cool. And then we have this little launcher thing, so you press this in and that will go flying, whatever is on it. Inside of that, it's kind of difficult to see, but it looks kind of like a generator. Once again, not really painted. If it's gray on this, it's not really too interesting, color-wise, paint detailed-wise, but, which most of the vehicle is. It's mainly a gray, with a bit of yellow and whatnot all around it, a tad bit of red. But for the most part, gray and kind of boring. But what they miss in painting and paint apps, they make up for in the sculpting that they did on this thing. I mean, look at this. Once again, phenomenal. I would like to thank Hasbro, applaud Hasbro for this, because they have really outdone themselves. I will do a demonstration here. We will set you here. You can stand. And didn't really go too far, but you know, it's a launcher. It's cool. We have a place in the back for the figures to stand as well. There's a peg hole, a few bolts, and it just looks all around really cool. So that's pretty much all of it from the front and the back perspectives I can show you. So now let's look at the belly of the beast. Okay, so now we are looking at the underside of the ship, the belly of it, and there's not really much here. I mean, it's just to put the extra stuff. I'll show you pretty much what it's for. So pretty much these missiles don't come attached. What you have to do is, it comes like this, and it's really easy. You just pop it in like I did it a minute ago without even seeing it. Now I'm having trouble. You just kind of gently pop it in, and it works like that. You have a stand that you can put here to have it stand on its own. Unfortunately, it only comes with 3 stands, and if you have it in half like I have it right now, there's 1 on this and 2 on this, so this one does not stand on its own, which is probably the most unfortunate part about this whole playset. But, I mean, once again, it's really cool. As you can see, the cannons from the bottom side, I've kind of left the twisty type plastic things on, but you press the button right here and the missiles launch. And they actually launch fairly well and fairly far. It's not really supposed to be detailing that you're supposed to see down here, but it's still decent. Here's where you can spin the motor rotor things, so that's kind of cool. And then on here you can see Stark Industries. Oh, I did not know that, actually. That was first for me as well. So apparently Stark Industries made the cruiser, I guess. Or else that may just be an Easter egg. That's probably it. Okay, so now let's get to this part of it, the main part of the ship. Once again, these spin with fairly easy, with much ease to it. This one is having a hard time. You see the 2 stands here. There's one over there too. That's pretty much what it looked like from a far distance. Here's one up close. Just kind of lands there. Support attachments. I'm assuming that a figure can also hold on to this if it's like mid-air, like Hey, I'm still here. Don't leave me. Yeah, they actually can grip that fairly well, so I don't know if they're supposed to do that. They can kind of sit on here too, which, you know, I don't know. Here's the bottom part of the launching platform, as you can see, where it has dug kind of further down than the rest of the ship and added details, so they had to fill it in with this here. Once again, really nothing special with the belly of the ship. Nothing you're really supposed to see. Although I do think that the Stark, let me turn this around so that you can see it. The Stark Industries was a cool little Easter egg on there. So, done with the belly of the ship, and let's get to the next part. Okay, so I just figured out something new about the ship again. So what I said was the most unfortunate part a minute ago, just kind of disregard that, because you can actually separate this back part from the middle part. And this is, middle part, this is what I am assuming is the extra foot on it that is the Comic-Con exclusive piece with all the extra guns and whatnot. So it's really maybe 3 feet long like this. Another thing that you can still tell it's Comic-Con because it says SDCC 7-12 with a 09 by it, but you know, it's still cool. So here's a full view of that. It looks really nice, and it's cool that you can have like full customization to this. Like you can have it look any 3 ways you want. I think that that's one of the coolest parts of this vehicle. And also, I figured out, yes, it's here, that this says Stark Industries as well. So, I guess each part may say Stark Industries, but I'm not exactly sure. So, now I will show you all 3 parts separated. Okay, so now I have it in each of their 3 individual parts, and I'm just going to give a quick overview of each part. So, of the front part here, this is the longest part of the ship. It's probably the 2 foot long part, maybe 1.5 feet long. So we have the guns here. We have this, the front of the vehicle goes like this, and it goes all the way back to here till about the first set of engines. And that's where it can connect. So that's about that piece. That is the longest piece of the vehicle. The next piece, which is supposed to be the middle piece, if you choose to have it, is this. It's pretty much just extra guns. So that's maybe 1 foot long. And each piece has a stand, by the way. And then this part is the back of the ship, so we can see that comes with the engine part. And then the claw and whatnot. So pretty much all there is this middle part is optional. So now I will be going to the next part of the video. Stark, we're almost done working on the... I'm almost done hot wiring everything so that we can get the ship up to maximum capacity and it can fly a lot faster in your small English terms. Yeah, I knew that. Of course you did, Cabby. When you've been frozen in ice for about 70 years. Shut up. Okay, so I thought that this was important enough to show. So there is this little space that is where you connect to the other part. This is the front part that is the necessary part of the ship. I would assume that it is. So we have this, and pretty much what you do is you, give me 1 second, you will take apart that, actually I'm going to be putting it back together fully anyway. So this part, as you can see, is kind of sticking out here, so let me set the camera up to where you will be able to see me put this together and get a good understanding of it. Okay, so if that came undone. Okay, so you pretty much just kind of fit it into place there, and then these parts will fit like puzzle pieces. and then they will just practically snap in from there. So just snap it, and then we will take the back part and let's set it up from a diagonal angle. The back part here, and once again you can fit it in like a puzzle piece. And you just snap it in, and that part is a bit easier to get on. So here's the full 4-foot vehicle again. And now let's get to the next part of the review. Okay, so here is one of the little add-ons to the ship. It is pretty much the big gun. This is where the 9th missile comes into place. You can see there's 2 there, and then other side, so there's 8, and then 9. So pretty much sitting by Captain America and Mrs. Hill in the packaging are the 9 missiles, as you can see in the beginning. The 9th one does go in here. Now this is one of my least favorite parts of the thing, but also one of my favorite parts, because I like this a lot, and it has a lot of cool features. Like, if I can get this open, give me 1 second. Actually, I'm going to open this part first, the top, and then kind of open it from there, because you can do that. Hello. So you can fit a figure into here. I'm going to show you an example. For this part, I have decided to put the part on the ship, which I will explain how to do in a second, even though I think it's self-explanatory. Anyway, I just happen to have an Iron Man figure with me, so I'm going to be showing you all the different places you can put a figure in this little compartment. So, as you can see, we have a Captain America figure sitting here, which I will get into more detail about that in a second. We have a Marion Hill figure sitting in the front here, and we have a Iron Man kind of sitting in the back here. Now, here's the thing. The back is probably the best part with the least complaints. It can hold up to quite a few figures, so just put them in there and close it. Now, I don't get why there's a seat for her in there, or anyone really. Once again, it's kind of difficult to get open, and I just don't understand it. It really makes no sense. Which, once again, it doesn't make sense why they're loading in there, as little as it makes sense in somebody sitting in there. But anyway, and now this is probably one of my least favorite parts of the vehicle. I got the Star Wars gunner from the Clone Wars, the little gun seat, and they had a little place for the clone trooper to put his feet when he was on a gun. Well, on this, there's no place. His feet are just kind of hanging loose. There's no place for him to really put his hands up here, so it doesn't really look too nice. And the front part's so big, it will kind of lean over like this sometimes. And, I mean, if you shoot, it'll end up shooting the ship. As you can see, it shot off the side, or you may not have seen it, but it shot off the side of the ship, so that, I don't really think that was the best idea. A way that they could have easily fixed this, a few ways, is, if this will go back in, added a bit more weight to the back here. I really don't see the point of this thing, but that's pretty much one of the things they could have done. Now, if you have this, if you have everything closed, this part can come off, and I don't know if it's like a little ship or if it's just supposed to be a removable part, but it really doesn't make sense to me why someone's driving there. Maybe it's like something you can drive like a tank with a huge gun on the side. I don't know. So, here's the place where you fit it in. You just kind of set it where you need it to be. Which it sometimes takes a few minutes. I'm still getting used to this. And you just snap it into place. So, it's not snapping into place too well. So yeah, that is pretty much that part of the review done. Come on, open. That part is difficult to get open. So yeah, this is maybe my least favorite part of it. They could have done so much better on this, so much improvement. So yeah, I'm... other than my general overview of the vehicle, which I'll give at the end, I'm pretty much done with the vehicle. So I will be doing figure reviews now on Cappy and Marion. So without further ado, let's get started. Alright then, Iron Man, shoot me. Come on. Let's take this up a notch. Why don't you... That was all me. You weren't actually supposed to shoot. I could get hurt. You realize that in the movies, you never get hurt. In the movies, my shield's always the thing that gets hit. And I am hurt. Well, then you're probably a comic version of the figure. So now we are going to do a figure review on the Captain America starting off. So I'm going to go over accessories and then articulation, and then we'll go from there. So accessories he comes with is this actually really nice looking shield. Unfortunately, this is the back to it, so it's only like one side is good looking and then the other side you want to throw up all over, because I don't know, I just don't like this version of the shield. I'd rather have something like he could stick his arm through it, like the double rubber band type things. I think that would have been a lot better. But this is a shinier shield, not really molded in. You can see the star in the middle. The paint apps they did really good, actually. So I'll give them props for that. But other than that, the shield is a bit of a disappointment. So, for the figure himself, articulation-wise, we have a ball-jointed head that rotates around 360 degrees. Shoulders rotate around 360 degrees and rotate outward. Elbows bend down and rotate around 360 degrees. Waist rotates around 360 degrees. Legs will, right at the hip, they will kind of bend to the side so that you can get them into a sitting position, and then right under that it will rotate around 360 degrees. Above and below the kneecaps will bend backward, and the ankles rotate around 360 degrees and bend downward. So articulation wise for this figure, really the only necessary articulation that he's missing is the wrist, so not really going to count off too much for that, because I mean it's the gloves and it's going to be kind of difficult to do with the shoulders being right by it. So I'll give them this, I'll give them that. So the face sculpt is, I'm pretty sure it's completely new. It looks more like the comic book version to me than the movie version of Captain America, which it's mainly because of the face. In the movie, his face does not look like that. That's one of the first things I noticed about this, and I usually don't notice this kind of stuff about figures. We have the star on his chest, the red, white, and blue outfit, pretty much just basic blue, white, and red coloring, and then, you know, his skin colors. But other than that, really nothing. His belt has black and silver, which looks really cool. When we get to the back, there is a star in the center of his back with a peg hole in it, so that you can put his shield on his back. So there's a peg hole that he can also grab. And then you just kind of press it in there and it will kind of stay. I don't think it looks all too great on his back, but hey, whatever floats your boat. The figure itself is pretty basic, just like most of the other Captain Americas. So yeah, if I had to rate the figure by itself, not including anything else, I would probably give the figure a 4 out of 5, pretty much because it's repetitive, we've seen it already, but it's got superb articulation. Unfortunately, the shield is really sad. It's really just, it is sad to see the shield like this, but it is nice to get what I believe to be the comic book version of Captain America, and a really nice version of it too. So now let's get to the other figure part of the review, the other figure, Marion Hill. Oh, wait, what's happening? It's on auto fire. Wait, don't. Ouch. YouTube, now we are to the Marion Hill figure part of the review. So I will go over accessories and then articulation, and then we will go from there. So accessories pretty much are, if I can get these out, she comes with 2 pistols, which one of them is not in her holster. That kind of worries me. Here it is. Okay, yeah, found it. It worried me because I was about to complain about the pistol I lost, which I guess is why it keeps getting lost. So, let me just set these up to where you can see them on my hand. Not creepy at all. So as you can see, pretty much 2 identical black pistols. Come on. Yeah, they aren't really wanting to cooperate with this. They're pretty nice pistols. I do have complaints about them, though. They don't fit in her holsters too well, and one of them, which is this bottom one, came in her hand in the packaging, and when I tried to take it out, it was kind of like it was stuck. Well, I'm assuming possibly that it was still wet with the paint whenever they put it in her hand, so when it came off, a bit of the white paint got on the gun and a bit of the black paint got on her glove, which I will show you in a second. So we have those 2 guns, which I'm going to put back in the holsters before I show you the articulation. The way I put them back in the holsters is I have the where she can grab the handle of the gun facing forward. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to do it, but that is how I have it. Maybe it would work if you put the handles in there, turn it around or something. So, yeah. Articulation on this figure is a ball-jointed head that rotates around 360 degrees. Shoulders rotate around 360 degrees and bend outward. Elbows rotate around 360 degrees and bend down. Wrists rotate around 360 degrees. No waist articulation unless mine's just way incredibly stiff. The legs will make it to where she can be in a sitting position or have her legs spread out like that. Up at the thigh part. Right below that, if I can turn this, right below that, it can rotate around 360 degrees, and I mean right below that. Above and below the kneecaps, it can bend backwards, and the foot rotates around 360 degrees and bends down. It's kind of like in a ball socket, I guess. So that's pretty cool. This is an all-new figure. I'm pretty sure this is the first time they've ever released this character. Once again, I'm pretty sure it's based off the comic version, not the movie version. But I could be wrong. One thing that tells me that is because her hair is a lot different in the movie. And by a lot different, I mean a bit longer. And the Captain America looks like he's from the comic book series. So, just assuming here, which will probably end up bad. So, the face sculpt, I really honestly don't like. It. To be honest, it looks like a guy. It's kind of sad. I was really looking forward to this figure, especially since it was an exclusive to this set, and it was a big letdown, detail-wise, sculpting-wise. As we go down on the figure, you can just see pretty much basic blacks and white paint apps with a bit of silver here and there. The articulation, once again, is really superb, but other than that, really kind of disappointing. Here's a good look at the back of the figure. And now we can look in her hand. Come on, don't shine. Okay, so as you can see, there's a bit of dark down there. That is where I pulled the gun out and a bit of the paint from the gun got attached to her hand, which was saddening. So, for this figure, which, by the way, is going for, at this time that I'm filming it, about $50 to $80 on eBay. By the way, I'm not going to end up selling this. I do want to keep it, no matter what I think of it. I would probably give this figure a 3 out of 5. The articulation is great, superb. The only crucial articulated piece of this figure that is really missing is the waist. But other than that, articulation's good. The detailing and sculpting is at least for the face part, horrible. And that was a big letdown, because the face part's pretty much the main part of the figure itself. The guns, they don't stand their holsters too well. It stayed in her hand pretty well, which was nice, but not the holsters, unfortunately. So yeah, 3 out of 5. And now that I'm done with this figure review, I will give my opinion on the Helicarrier itself. Enjoying the view, Cappy? No. This is just where one of the only foot pegs on the whole ship is located. Oh. Yeah. Kind of a downer. Yeah. Okay, so my final opinion on the Helicarrier, I'm just going to go ahead and flat out rate it. I would probably rate it a 4.5 out of 5. This is almost a perfect vehicle, and when I say almost, I mean almost. It does have its flaws pretty much like everything else, and on my favorite vehicle list, made by Hasbro, because, I mean, the Halo Warthog would outnumber every one of them. My favorite vehicle in this order are probably number 1 being the ATTE, number 2 being the Clone Wars Boba Fett Slave 1, and this would have to be number 3. This is just all around cool. Cool is the word for it. Once again, the things I don't like, this whole deal right here is probably my least favorite part. And then one part I didn't really get to because I didn't really want to open it was this trap door, which it is supposed to be a trap door, but whenever I open mine, it doesn't just flip open, it just comes off, and that's a disappointment to me because this is one of the coolest, supposed to be one of the coolest features, and it won't go down really. Oh, well, maybe it does. Mine is so stiff that it barely goes down. Yeah, there we go. Saved myself there. But really, it is kind of stiff, and you're going to have to play with this a little bit before you get it going. So, yeah, okay, so I tried to put that back up, and it came off again. So the trapdoor really isn't as great as I just thought it might be. So yeah, it's the vehicle itself is really cool. And now I will give my opinion on the set as a whole. Okay, so to rate this set as a whole, we gave the Helicarrier a 4.5 out of 5. I'm pretty sure we gave Cappy either a 4 or 4.5 out of 5. And she got Miss Marion Hill, if that is her name. I probably screwed it up throughout the whole video. Gets a 3 out of 5. This is about a $130 set. As a whole, with Comic-Con exclusive, I am going to give the whole set a 4 out of 5. 4.5 out of 5, actually. This set is way worth it. It is a great deal. It is a lot of fun. I have had a lot of fun playing with it, getting to know its features, and I'm looking forward to just taking this out and playing with it, because this is just awesome. I think that I've kind of been thinking about doing Marvel stop motions too, but I mean, even if I just do Star Wars ones, this vehicle will definitely make, at the very least, a cameo showing some of its awesome features. Hasbro, you did a splendid job, and for you, as much as you've been sucking lately, I love you for this, because this is great. So, take that as a compliment or an insult or however you may. Because with the Star Wars and G.I. Joe and Marvel stuff, you've been slacking. So, pretty much 4.5 out of 5. If you are able to get this at a decent price, which I've seen them, they're going on eBay for about $200 each, which honestly, I think would be a really good deal for it. Although I do want to see what the $100 one that's coming out later this year looks like. I will most likely be getting that as well, and then Because I want to see the similarities between this and that, unless it's pretty much just the exact same one minus a piece, of course. But, you know, it won't, because this has a Comic-Con thing on it. So yeah, if I do end up getting that, I will do a review on that, and then I will do a comparison review so you guys can know what to do if you want to wait. So thank you for watching, and until next time, keep collecting. Bye. Captain America, Iron Man. Hey, you want a piece of me? Iron Man, what are you? Every time.